Like Taylor Swift came in with a particular set of speakers.
I was asking myself, how much is this? How much is that? How much is this? How much is that? Yeah.
The wall just toppled onto the singer actually.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Chatterbox. My name is Daisy. I am a host, content creator, theater performer, concert goer, and today I am joined by three very special guests as we are going to talk about experiences in concert production. I want you guys to introduce yourselves.
Okay, hi, my name is Viddsee. I'm a freelance production stage manager and show caller for productions and MICE events. I'm a former army regular and I'm currently still a freelance dance instructor. Yeah,
Dance instructor?
Yeah.
Oh, bust out some moves!
Right now.
Just kidding.
Okay, my name is AK. I'm a freelance lighting designer and programmer. Mostly I work with theatre productions, occasionally out into something bigger. A fun fact about me is I'm into obstacle sports.
Hi, my name is Sufi Rashid. I'm the CEO of SH Entertainment. I run concerts, events since 2016. Fun facts, I guess, and I'm still a singer.
Okay, you two know each other.
Yeah.
You've worked on productions before. What productions?
Mostly dance productions that we work together hand in hand.
So you know, he said he's an army regular, right? So that's where you can really see where that personality takes shape. So you can see all the dancers will be doing their thing and then all of a sudden they are afraid of this entity on stage.
Would you agree, Peter?
Totally agree.
Okay, we're gonna start with a short game called This or That. I'm gonna give you two words and then I'll say 3, 2, 1 and you're gonna shout out either the first word or the second word, okay? First one, outdoor or indoor venue? 3, 2, 1.
Indoor.
Indoor.
All indoor!
Right.
Why do we hate the outdoors?
Weather. Costing.
Heat,
Heat, that's true.
resources.
General admission or assigned seating? 3, 2, 1.
Assigned seating.
Oh, assigner!
Yes.
I prefer general admission because I
Oh.
can stand and I will get to the barricade.
Well, it depends how big the space is. If it's a bigger space, maybe you can get away with that.
I mean, if the demographic is going to be like the aunties and uncles, you cannot go for general admissions.
Yeah.
No.
Confirm cannot.
Of course not! Although, have you seen the aunties and uncles when they want the reserve seat on the train? They are suddenly like
Right.
Olympic runners. They're like, give it to me.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. Merchandise booth or online merch sales?
Merchandise
Online.
booth. Physical booth would really see like the fun of it, like having a lot of people to queue for the merchandise and all.
Physical is a better experience for the concert goer.
Yep.
Online is easier for my job.
Okay lah, I think I'm more customer oriented, I guess.
Yeah.
Physical tickets or e-tickets?
E-ticket. Oh really?
Oh, it's a tough choice.
It's a tough choice for us.
What's the pros and
If
cons?
I was the one running the show, I would go with e-tickets. But if I was the concert goer,
Physical.
I'm a bit sappy for the tickets. So I would like to keep the tickets.
But you can print the e-tickets. That's what I do. If I want to keep the ticket.
Well, but if you
It's
print
different.
the ticket versus you getting the physical ticket, you know, it's just a little bit of a different sentiment. I printed it myself.
Next one. This one, you better think carefully. Local talents
Oh.
or international acts?
Local.
Um,
Local.
I think if I have enough money, I'll just support local lah. But if I need to make money, I go for international. I will just be honest lah. It's not about like to earn from selling. It's about covering the cost.
AK, you work on a lot of local shows and productions.
Because I don't work on as many concerts as I would like to, the people that I get to see is more of the locals. So to me, it's more of a opportunity to make more local bonds.
I still have customers like coming up to me, why don't you support local talent? But it's something hard for us to explain to them. As a producer, like you produce the whole concert, you gotta pay your staff, you gotta pay this and that. I mean, will people come for these, artists, these local names? I have to ask myself that.
Next. Single stage setup or multi-stage setup?
Ooh. Single stage setup.
Single stage setup.
The sheer amount of chaos in a multi-stage setup, technical-wise.
I can imagine.
When you have one stage, there's already so many points of failure, and if you have two, you're basically doubling that possibility because something can go wrong on either side. So I think the safer bet would be to stick with the single stage.
Interesting. Okay, two more. Traditional camera setup or drone operators?
Traditional.
Traditional camera.
Yeah.
Drones have a lot of laws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in Singapore in
There's only
particular,
certain
you can't
areas.
fly over crowds.
Yeah.
With a traditional camera setup, you can have a first AC, second AC, and all that. More jobs, you know.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
All right, last one. Surprise songs or follow set lists lined up?
Follow set list
Follow
lah.
set list.
Follow. Okay, that depends how difficult to handle the new situation. If it's just additional song, you know, without any so-called changes in technical aspect and queue calling, I'm fine with it.
If the artist add on like 2-3 more songs without you acknowledging it or without you knowing it, it's not just like affecting the rundown of the show. It will affect the timing. For example, when you should end like 10:30, you end up ending like 11 plus. That is like only the show time. You haven't even included their meet and greet and stuff. Rental is gonna increase by an hour. The manpower, usher, security is gonna increase by an hour or two. The miscellaneous fees and the transport, the whatnot. That is like easily $5,000 to $10,000. Like easily, yeah.
Okay, we have gone through our this or that and got a lot of interesting insights. That was very cool. I have 3 questions. Okay, so Peter, your question is, if you could organize a concert featuring any artist, living or dead, who would it be and why?
No question, Michael Jackson.
Ooh, nice. But why?
Why?
For the young folks watching.
As a dancer, I watch his videos, MV since like way back, and he's a great inspiration till now. Even till now, I think he's still influencing a lot of people who are still in the industry. He's a living legend, so I would love to see him back again and do his act. Yeah.
It depends on who I'm following currently. So right now I'm into this Danish band called Volbeat. So they would be the band that I want to see. Mostly because I don't think they've toured into Singapore before, at least not that I remember. So that will be for me.
You guys might not expect what I'm gonna answer. It's gonna be Shah Rukh Khan though.
Oh,
So I've always like asked myself, I mean, why can't we have like a Shah Rukh Khan as the main dancer and all the dancers in all his movies like perform? That's my wish list lah.
That would be sick. Which aspect of concert production do you find most rewarding and why?
okay, I'm a drafter, meaning I draw plans. For me, the most exciting thing is when I draw a plan. Every little detail that I calculate and I put together on the computer drawing, my team recreates in front of me, and I get to see it in person. So that is the most satisfying thing for me.
Stage layout.
Yes.
Nice. Maybe because I'm a musician myself. Sound is the most crucial thing in concerts or any events. But then without a nice mix sound, you won't be able to feel it, you see, because people come to see the artist singing.
For me, will be everything fall in place because I usually the one who draft out the schedule and make sure everything run on time. So yeah, you'll be rewarding to see that everything runs smoothly, especially the human part. The best part for me was also the curtain call where you can see the end of the show.
And go home. All right, the ice has been sufficiently broken. Let's find out a little bit more about exploring concert production in Singapore. Okay, what are your thoughts on the recent spurt of concerts happening in Singapore? There are a lot. My wallet is very upset. Like, it's a lot. And they're expensive, let's be real.
In Singapore, we're living in a very stressful country. We need this kind of entertainments to enjoy ourselves, I guess. So that's why I take the chance to host a concert and make some money.
That's the truth.
Nice
That's the
segue.
truth. Yes.
It's more than just about tourism, I guess. It also is job opportunities for our crew.
Yep.
COVID hit them really hard.
Yep.
Many people actually left the tech industry and went to Grab, do Deliveroo and Lala Move and all these things. So it's nice that many of them have a chance to come back and make money.
Yep.
I totally agree with AK. I guess to me, it's more on the creating the jobs for our industry.
Yeah.
Because we really lose a lot of friends during the COVID time, and some of them even like Malaysians who went back.
Yeah, it was. I mean, being in theater myself, yeah, totally. That whole sector disappeared because we're not essential. So actually, I mean, looking at Taylor Swift, Bruno Mars, Coldplay. Those are, I think, the big three that people reference when we talk about concerts coming back to Singapore.
Yep.
Just observing those three concerts, what did they do that makes you go, wow?
Coldplay was, to me, was the best. Anybody will know that the production is not cheap lah.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't even focusing on the songs. I was focusing on the LED,
Honestly,
the lasers and
yeah.
all. I mean, yeah, I was asking myself, how much is this? How much is that? How much is this? How much is that? Yeah.
For me, it's automation. Okay, so automation is when something moves on stage that isn't normally moving.
Okay.
So it could be the stage floor, it could be the LED wall, it could be the performer. So you know there's this Korean singer Psy, right?
Yep.
So he likes to launch out from the floor when he starts his concerts.
I think I'm just constantly blown away by, I mean, it's not just, I don't go for the artist, I also really appreciate what goes on technically and the scale of things. And I like to see how different artists use those spaces in different ways. I'm interested to know there are like random venues that, so you were saying how you can't anticipate if like big, like hot performers will sell. But I see these like big hot performers come and then their venue is like damn random. So like in a basement, like 1975 was in like a car park legitimately or something. And like Lao Fei, I don't know how to say her name, but that like jazz musician, she's in like a expo where I'm like, why wouldn't you put her in like a concert hall or something that suits?
No deal lah.
So like, how does that get decided? Is that based on the organizers and their bidding on locations, or it's up to them? How does that all work?
There's usually two things. The first one is how much you're willing to pay for the venue.
Right.
Yeah.
And the second one, which is more frightening than the money, is actually whether the venue has already been booked.
Right.
Because even if you can throw more money at the venue, if it has already been booked by someone else, the venue will honor the booking.
Okay, can you describe the process of obtaining permits and approvals for hosting concerts in Singapore? Like, so I'm understanding now that there's like bidding, and then there's the different organizers will like try and get one artist,
I
and
almost
they
lost.
will like.
No, almost I lost one or two. Of course, it's very competitive. Let's say you want a specific artist. There's this one artist lah. We lost the bid to a bigger promoter. So bidding is one of the factors to be able to have the artist on board for the concert.
And then there are like permits and
permits,
other things.
yeah, permits not so much of a worry. I mean, Singapore is very easy, very systematic. It's all under one roof. You can apply the via IMDA for the AER and all. It's all straightforward lah. But the withholding tax sometimes can be quite painful. You know, 15% is crazy.
Maybe you can share about like laws or rules that you have to like follow strictly.
I think general rules are when the crews are working, where they adhere to all the height limits kind of stuff. If there could be dangerous act, we need to have the ambulance standby and all the first aid at the site. If there's anything they need to have more pyro, etc., then there'll be a fire safety officer as well. So all these clearance we need way ahead and planning.
3-4 months before.
Because all these things, for example, fire, we need like a few months to get the permits, for example. They can't just come, okay, I want it tomorrow. It's not going to happen. Good thing about Singapore is most of them already have, like the promoter have been sound out to the artist side or artist management team that we have very strict rules here and
like
we have to
me that's the most important thing.
I think it's communication. Whoever get the job, the beat, the promoter and the event organizing and the artist team will have to really talk it out. And their technical team and our local technical team have to meet. Because a lot of times no means no, you can't have it, like means you can't have it. Some of them do try to push, but most of the time we have to say no, because it's not up to us.
How long does it normally take for like concerts to be put on in Singapore? Like
preparation?
Like the preparation, the announcement, and then it happening. Like what's the ideal time frame? Because sometimes they announce like 1 month before, sometimes it's 6 months before. So how long is the planning?
Minimum 3 months, I guess.
3 to 6.
3 to 6 months.
Depending on the skill, technical.
Oh wow, that's very short. I always imagine like the artists say like years in advance. When
no,
they
preparation
want to
is 3 months lah. But I think the planning of sourcing the artist will take up to a year actually.
Okay.
Take up to a year. I'm doing Datuk Sri Siti Nurhaliza. I was dealing with the management since 2022. Yeah, it was like a year. After a year, then they give us the answer of okay, let's go.
AK, you talked earlier about how international artists also work with the local crews, and that's when the collaboration happens. How else do concerts collaborate with local businesses?
Because if you talk about a concert coming into Singapore, like let's say a promoter is working on it, it's the local rental houses that set up for the show. And it's possible that one rental house may not have everything that the client wants. Like Taylor Swift came in with a particular set of speakers. Because like you said, it sounds very important. So they came in with their own set of speakers. But that wasn't enough for the stadium. So what they did was a mishmash of a system. So one pair of speakers, one set of speakers is from them. Everything else is rented in. So then we have to look for a vendor that can provide exactly the technical rider.
The backline story.
Yeah, the backline, the exact equipment that they want.
This is so cool.
Yep.
And whether or not the company can provide 100% tech rider, or is it a negotiation? Maybe they give you 90%. They can't find this exact lighting fixture that they want, or because if you talk about a touring concert like Taylor Swift, the design of the show is done back in the States.
Yeah.
So when they come into Singapore, they're not like programming the show.
Yep.
They just come in with a thumb drive and load it in and go. But in order for the thumb drive to talk to what we have here, the equipment needs to match.
Yeah.
So they can't program it with Italian fixtures in the States and then use China fixtures here in Singapore. It's not allowed to talk. So that becomes a communication between different companies. Like, oh, hey, do you have this? We need this, exactly this.
Yep.
And that becomes a hunt. So Singapore doesn't have it, and then we need to look for another overseas vendor to provide the exact thing because the concert wouldn't work without it.
That's so interesting because I always assumed that every venue already had what? And
No.
they come and they have their stage design and then they build the stage and they bring what they need, but no.
So because to the concert goer, it is there's sound, there's light, there's video, but to the nerd, the techie nerd, right? Speaker A and speaker B sound different. Europeans like speaker A. Americans don't like speaker A.
Yep.
So the sound quality is different.
True.
The not say quality, the tone.
Yeah.
Whether it's warm, it's heavy on the lows, or it's crystal clear on the highs, and it varies from artist to artist.
Even we have the same particular model, the exact model, some artists will just believe that, oh, the quality in Singapore is not as good as compared to their country. So they will just bring over from their country, and we have to pay for the extra luggage.
Okay, what measures are taken to minimize environmental impact and promote sustainability in concert production practices in Singapore?
The move that the industry made to go green is that we've shifted from incandescent lighting fixtures to LEDs, which is what even in film, as we're standing in front of the lights right now, they used to be red headlamps that draw like 800 watts. But now everything's LED, 100 watts, 100 watts, you know. So we are moving towards saving electricity. It's just that quantity-wise, it still looks like it's the same.
Right.
But per unit, the amount of power that we're using has significantly dropped over the years. It is just a matter of whether the vendors that are providing this equipment made that shift or not.
Now that we know a little bit more about the state of concerts in Singapore, let's dive into the behind the scenes of what it takes to put on a concert or a production here. As people in the industry with different roles in a production, what are some behind the scenes scenarios that audiences don't see while they're watching a show?
Sometimes there's a lot of screaming behind. We communicate through headset, walkies, and improvised sign language.
Oh, improvised sign language.
Yep.
Let's try and decide. Can you give us some let's try and guess.
Oh, it's like
Leave the stage. Get off. Or go there. Get out.
I got one.
Redo. What's this?
Redo or keep going, keep
Oh,
going.
okay.
Keep going.
Speed up this one for me.
Managers fighting with their artists.
Oh, really?
They're arguing among themselves. The artist wanted this, but the manager wanted that. Then we became like the center of negotiation between them. And that take about at least 5 minutes already.
one of mine was one of the dancers was drunk. Came in drunk. So they had to remove him, of course, because he's just wasted.
Oh my god.
So they were trying to when the next song's going to happen, they were trying to what should we do? Change this. And they were just all trying to gather their thoughts and then how to cover him.
One of my bad experience getting scolded by the artist for no reason, you know. And like for example, the whole let's say the whole concert wasn't like entirely full house, when suddenly there's a chunk of empty seats, and like suddenly we for no reason asking why is it not fulfilled. You know, we tell them because it's allocated seats, it's not something like free seating. So I have to bring my ushers. I tell my ushers to go up and sit there to just cover up, just to make the artist feel okay. Yeah, it's a lot of behind the scenes but it was a good experience.
Are there like tech things that go wrong quite often that we wouldn't realize?
There are tech things that go wrong, but before the tech things go wrong, usually there's creative drama.
Oh.
Because in the theatre, we have drama.
We do, darling.
Drama. And creative drama is when the solution is staring at you right in the face, but the creatives cannot see the solution.
Suddenly blinded by
Oh, I want it this way. And then the next person will say, no, but I want it this way. And then the technical manager in the middle, who's usually me, will be like, but both your solutions are not going to work. Can we do this? But then and then half an hour later, they'll realize that they can both compromise and they'll wind up on the solution, which was what I suggested 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's creative drama. Then technical malfunction, yeah, microphones dying on stage. Recently, we had LED walls toppling.
Really?
Oh, shit.
Oh, dear.
Yes, that was frightening. The wall just toppled onto the singer actually. Yeah, that was nasty. It does happen. We do everything we can to prevent it, but sometimes it happens.
How, Peter, do you make sure that the flow of a concert is successful?
Singapore scenario, I would say 90% do not follow the schedule. If it's a straightforward, like example, dance production, when the lesser technical thing involved is okay. It's like full-fledged musical, there'll be even more nightmare. As there's more element on it, sets, props, there's more layers of things to worry about. And how long the time that we get to bump in, and then how long the show going to be. It's going to be staged like 3 shows, going to be like running for like weeks.
Yeah.
I think it's always good that we get, not always the case, but to get everyone together, even just for a short meeting, but everyone see everyone. And I think direct communicating them in the rooms is always the best way.
And for our final segment, we're gonna play a little game called Know Your Production Slang. I'm gonna give a description of a word, and you guys are gonna write down the slang for it in production terms, yeah? It will make sense when I say it, okay? Okay, number 1. Okay, what is the name of the backstage area where performers can relax before or after their set?
Oh.
Are we ready? 3, 2, 1. Wow, 1 out of 3 got it right.
Oh, it's production
Green
slang.
room. Green room. I guess also dressing room and changing room, same lah.
Yeah.
Okay, the second one is, we talked about it during the conversation, so you all better get it right. The area in the venue where the sound engineer controls the audio mix during the concert for the audience. 3, 2, 1.
Oh,
Oh,
that's a question?
Peter! Front of house.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Good job.
Okay.
Okay, next one. Okay, what is the name of the rehearsal before the concert where the audio levels and equipment are tested?
What's the question again?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
You're
All
okay.
All right.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, interesting. So this, I would say, is the like theater dance term, and then this is the concert term, because we call it a tech run in theater, but yeah, it would be soundtrack for artists. Okay, this term refers to the setup and the teardown process of equipment and gear at the venue. So when you're setting it up, what is it called? And then when you're tearing it down, what is it called? Ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Bumpy. Oh,
Bumpy,
okay.
bump out, bump in, strike. Yeah. Set up, tear down, same. Okay, next one. An unwanted noise caused by sound from a speaker being picked up by a microphone and re-amplified, creating a loop of increasing volume. Ah. It's a sharp noise. Ah. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Feedback. What did you write? Frequency. Same. It's frequent sounds. Okay, what is the name of the document that details the sequence of events, the lighting cues, the audio cues during the concert or theater production? It's the document. What is the name of the document?
I use both. Well, we wrote it.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh.
Same meaning.
What's the difference between a tech writer and a master cue sheet?
A tech writer talks about the technical requirements, whereas the cue sheet is
The
the
cue sheet.
sequence of events that happen.
Okay, this one. The directions used to refer to the left and the right sides of the stage.
Q.
From the perspective of the performer.
Yeah.
What does FM mean?
Floor manager.
This one's stage left, stage right. The directions.
Oh, the
Not
directions.
not who gives the directions.
Oh, the directions.
The directions.
Okay,
So stage left and stage right, correct.
Okay. Alright.
A slang term for a crew member who assists with the equipment setup, transportation, and other logistic tasks on the tour. All the looks of... Oh my god, everything is so different. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, roadie, yes.
Oh, roadie.
Roadie, the slang
Okay,
term.
this
Okay, that was really fun. I hope you guys enjoyed that last little segment. But before we end, I have one last question. What advice would you give to someone interested in pursuing a career in concert production in Singapore?
Right. Yeah, it's a very rewarding job, right? And it's very dynamic. Yeah, go for it.
So the advice that I would give is to, if you are set on it, just go for it and don't give up. Don't take the exit early. It takes time, and even given the correct time, if you don't meet the right people, you may not get that opportunity.
Right.
So don't give up lah. Just keep trying.
What I can advise is you gotta make sure that you have a whole lot of team who are passionate in running the concert with you, not just wanted to earn out of living. I mean, I'm just being honest, you see, because if you have a team that is passionate about understanding how to sell the tickets together with you, choosing the artists together with you, you know, sharing their opinions with you, then that's where you should hold them, keep them as your team.
I learned a lot today. I hope you learned a lot today and enjoyed this episode of Chatterbox.
Yeah.
My name's Daisy. I'm your host and I'm signing off. Bye. If you liked this video,
don't forget to like and comment,
Share.
And subscribe.
bye.